The only way to do great work is to love what you do. Jai Hind and a very good morning to our guest, Mr. Atul Newase, faculty members and all the students of IIEBM. I, Sonakshi Budhrani, MC for today's session, accord you a warm and cordial welcome. Now, I would like to take this opportunity to introduce our guest, Mr. Atul Newase. Sir, may I have your permission to proceed? Thank you, sir. Sir has done his PGDM in marketing from Balaji Institute of Modern Management. Also, Sir is a respected alumnus of Manipal Global Next University and Harvard University. Sir holds 20 plus years of experience in transformation, organization change management, sales talent training, software quality assurance, corporate strategy, alliance management, and marketing and sales. Sir's roles involves value creation with organization. This, in most cases, translates in solving business problems like grow faster, change quicker, or transformation programs. Sir was a part of a light show board in 2015 to 19, Mahindra brand advocate and global leader from 1000 Leaders program of Tech Mahindra. Sir is currently working on organization change management with focus on driving effective awareness, engagements, and adoption of all transformation initiatives. Sir is a senior mentor with Ozone and Yugma. Sir holds the ability to train students through experiential learning methods. Sir has mastered the skills of facilitating discussion, providing helpful feedback to others, and presenting training content in an engaging manner. Sir has delivered 5,000 plus hours of mentorship with Ozone and Yugma. Now, without any further delay, I would like to call Mr. Atul Newase to address the young minds present over here.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. So welcome to the world of corporate. Exactly 12 months down the line, everybody will be part of some corporate engagement. Am I right? But for me, the target is 9 months. 9 months of happiness to be created, right? The placement will start around September, August. If I'm in the first month of this year, 2024, by 9th month of this month, we should have a placement, right? And the best part of this college is it is helping us to create a opportunity to help you understand where you can be, how you can make your journey purposeful so that you can achieve what you're looking for, right? One common thing is creating your own placement. While college is helping you to get the placement, right? The video which I just saw, and the theme between that video and your college is discipline, determination, and dedication. Am I right? So anybody less than 24 in this campus, why don't you appear for Indian Army and make a placement of 15 lakhs plus? Who's stopping you? Am I right? I did had an interaction with few of you in the past, right? All of you are with one purpose in this campus. Am I right? And what is that purpose? To become more happy, right? And definition of happiness is getting a placement, right? Placement at this campus, right? I'm looking for you to create a purposeful placement through this campus or, through this environment what you have, right? So I'm Atul Newase, will be helping you to engage, clear the doubts which you are looking for in the world of marketing, right? Marketing is all about customers. In the current times, the most important element is to understand the behaviors of the customers. हिंदी में क्या बोलते हैं? Customer, कष्ट करके आपको, you have to die to get that customer, right? So please understand, most important element for all of you in the world of marketing is to understand the behaviors. See your own pattern. What happened during the COVID? Like in the history, all of us have gone through AC and BC, right? No, I mean, before Christ and the after death, right? That is how the history talks about. In the world of management or in the world of marketing, AC and BC is like, before COVID and after COVID. Lot of things have changed. And if you ask me, on a personal front, all of us have changed with our own behaviors. The way we do shopping, the way we watch our content, the way we are learning. Thanks to COVID, otherwise we would have not thought about online learning. Isn't it? Thanks to COVID, we continued our education. Now, in the world of business, thanks to COVID, it taught us new way of engaging customers. So you guys will be responsible for engaging customers in a different way, all put together. Like 20 years back when we were passing out from the campus, right? There was no concept of social media, right? So exactly 20 years down the line, we don't know what things will be forcing us to learn and continuously keep on the cycle of learning. What happened? Because of technology, right? Take your personal example. 10 years back, many of you not even had a data on your mobile phone. Forget mobile phone. Some of you did not have a mobile phone also. 5 years back, all of you started enjoying content without buffering. Some of you know buffering? Still, that was a happiness, right? Dikh to raha hai, way back. Today, right? 10 years back, we did not have data. Today, all of us are not happy with 1 GB data per day. Exactly 2 years down the line, after 5G, the trend is we will not be happy with 10 GB data per day. And by 2030, when 6G is going to come out, all of us will be at least using 100 GB data per day. And now just imagine with this technological changes, rapidly, new areas of opportunities are coming up. So most important element is what is that new ecosystem is going to come up which will disrupt my business. Take the example of supply chain management. And all of us know, and all of us are a customer of two large companies, Amazon and Flipkart. Right? What happened in 2023, and this company is unicorn in that space of 2023 from India. Young chap like you, around 23-year-old now, he started a company called Zepto. How many of you are customer of Zepto here? Right, good, 40% data. Now what Zepto do? This process is called last mile happiness. Last mile delivery. You need something, within 5 minutes or 10 minutes, max to max 15 minutes, things will be at your door. And what was the supply chain management process of Amazon? Delighting us in 24 hours. Flipkart, delighting at the right price, and we are okay to wait for 3 days. Now Blinkit, Zepto and Swiggy, Instamart, started delivering that happiness in 10 minutes. So what happened to our instant gratification as a behavior? We don't have to put as an inventory at our home. Like in the world of manufacturing, 20 years back, we were taught a concept called JIT, just in time. Now the same principle is applied in our behavioral experiences, that I don't have to stock anything. I can buy everything whenever I need it. And good for student community, right? We don't have space to store, right? Whatever we need, just click and get that experience. Now, please understand, these are the new concepts which are coming up thanks to the technology what we have and the reach of it. Have you seen the annual report of Flipkart this year? Right? They always talk about how many pin codes we covered in India. That is the reach they are talking about. So that's a brief. So please understand, many of you will be landing up, 99% of the student community gets into the world called sales. Sales is a subset of marketing. I think good part is that first semester has covered. Have you completed an entire book called Kotler? Philip Kotler? Can anyone tell me which company is publisher of Philip Kotler here? First semester, you might have seen that book, India version or US version, whatever it may be. Which company is the publisher of this book? Principles of Marketing Management, right? मैंने 20 साल पहले पढ़ा था यार. You guys are fresh now. This company is called Pearson. Your publication, it must be Pearson. You just have a look at it, right? And please complete this book, India version or global version, doesn't matter. Fantastic concepts, right, which you have to complete. So this entire thing is nothing but coming out from that topic, right? What we have gone through, principles of marketing management from Philip Kotler. Marketing is all about, pull. Have you seen a sales guy from Amazon, Myntra, Flipkart? So what these guys invest into? Marketing. And they're trying to analyze our behaviors through our data, what we consume on our mobile phone or laptop or whatever devices you guys are using it. And then there's a concept called, pitching, search engine optimization, helping understand that whatever you're browsing it should become a opportunity for companies which are selling those products. So that's another marketing engine which is helping customers to continuously on their, purview, right? And today, all of us are the data in the world of technology. What we do, what we eat, today the best part is that technology company knows more than us about us than what we know about us. One of the behavior which all of us were talking about, now there's a company called Netflix. How many of you not used Netflix here? Only 4 guys, 4 to 5% population have not used Netflix, right? But all of us know the concept called Netflix. Now, as per CMO, Chief Marketing Officer of Netflix, who is the bigger competition? Any guess? No? 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 So as per CMO of Netflix, the bigger competition for them is your sleep. And that is what happened, that binge watching whatever we call. That evening you started first web series and you discovered that entire night gone and you finished that web series. And they're achieving their target. What is this called? Watching the behaviors. Disrupting the way normal people are thinking. And getting into the new level of consumer behavior patterns. Whichever company, industry you're going to land up, you have to understand who is my customer and what are the changing behavior patterns with them. Now take the company called ICICI Bank or State Bank of India. I think SBI will be a better example, right? Your grandfather, if you have observed his pattern of banking, he still loves to go to branch every month. And he knows the branch manager name also. And he gets more time, attention from a branch manager than his own son and the kids at home. That's a typical human behavior pattern branches like SBI are targeting. Now Gen Z population, which is your generation in this class, have you been to your branch? Do you know branch manager? Only 1% people are saying yes. But remaining guys don't know, not required. Everything happened on a click of a button on your mobile application. Right? So in the world of marketing, you need to understand your customer first and then try to attract that customer through your respective platform. And that is called demographic dividend, what we have, right? Not everybody is on the same platform. So how do I attract millennials using Facebook? How do I attract Gen Z population using Instagram? Right? So there are multiple ways of engagement which is very, very important for us to get into over the period of time. Do you know how many of you, why you shifted from Facebook to Instagram? 12 years back, all of you shifted to Instagram. Shifted from Facebook to Instagram. What happened? Around 2009, Facebook came to India and most of the Indians, when you guys were in, I think, class 5 or 3, whatever it may be, right? All of you hopped onto a platform called Facebook. And by the time you became teenager, your parents started questioning, "Acha beta, ye wo ladki kaun hai, batao?" Right? So a lot of kind of personal questions started coming up to the Gen Z population. And slowly, you shifted to a platform called Instagram, where your parents are not there. I may be wrong with some of the guys, but that's a reality for 90% of the Gen Z population. Check your own data. Right? Now you don't have a question about parent asking all the questions, weird questions which you don't have to answer. And as a marketing company, these behavior patterns are very important for them to attract, see where my customers are moving. And that's the reason the people who were doing marketing for a product, they were very, very active on Orkut in the 2000 till 2010 in India, shifted to Facebook. And around 2014, they had no option but also to include Instagram. And last year, like this evolution is happening, new companies are coming. Twitter was there, but again, Thread have started coming up last year onwards, last quarter onwards. The company or the marketing people like us also need to learn what is Thread. Are you guys clear what I'm trying to help you understand? As a marketing student, most important element is study of people. And what is study of people called? Anthropology. Right? The common thing between HR and marketing is people. Consumer behavior and human behavior, same thing. Right? So marketing is all about creating the increased awareness, is all about, sales is all about increasing revenue. So as a sales guy, what is your highest level position, CXO level position, what is that called? CRO, Chief Revenue Officer. And as a marketing, what is the highest level position in the company? CMO. Are you guys clear so far? The differentiation between marketing and sales. As I said, 9 out of 10 students in most of the B school land up in the world of sales. Do you know the reason? The reason is that the more you are close with the customer over the period of time, you will be able to handle the marketing for that product or the geography much better and much effectively. Right? So as a sales guys, your key job is not only to make a revenue for the company, but also give there a lot of data insights to your marketing folks. And a lot of new assignments will come on your way beyond your sales activity on the field. Like new product launches, new market creation, new identification of the space, and a lot of challenges will come. I don't know, I'll give you one story. It is like two executives working for Bata. Both got same assignment. They were from the different colleges, and the assignment was create a new marketplace for their product called shoes. And they went for a market research. I think this story might have been told to you, but these guys went to that village, and one of the guys came back after his market research, and he was saying that, sir, there is no market for us, because in that village nobody wear shoes, not even chappal. So we don't have a market in that place. The another guy, he went and he came very happily. Same situation, same scenario, but his response was different. He was very excited, and he gave the management feedback that we have ample scope because nobody is wearing the shoes. Are you getting my point? Same territory, same geography, everything is same, but the perspective, the way you are looking at for your business growth were different. Now trust me, which guy will be making more business in these two scenarios? These are the kind of challenges you guys are going to face irrespective of the industry or the geography. You have to help organization grow. And that is where companies are hiring you. And trust me, today, whichever company is hiring you, they are looking for 30x or 40x of your salaries. So let's say you're joining at 10 lakh. Minimum revenue, what you're going to make for the company or the profit will be around 10 to 40x depending on the organization. Now, which are the type of two organizations we can deal with? B2B and B2C. Two types of sales environment you can be part of, B2B and B2C. What is B2B, madam? Business to business. Now let's pick up the great example. Which sector you guys love? I can give the correlation, yeah? FMCG, right? Let's say you're working for a product called Marico. Do you know Marico, madam? Marico क्या बनाता है? Biscuits? Marico. Yes? Tell me the brand. Parachute. Yes, good. So Parachute is well-known brand for everybody. What is the color of Parachute bottle? Right? So that's the kind of brand which these guys have created. Now you're working for Marico, you're joining from this college, right? The guy who is responsible for B2B predominantly will be handling what? Which kind of a customer? Guess? Huh? B2B scenario, you will be handling a customer like DMart, Reliance Retail, Amazon. You getting it? So that's the kind of B2B business environment, and B2C environment will be like distribution entire channel which you're going to handle it. Now take the example of IT services company. Because we are in IT corridor of India, right? Hinjawadi and Wakad, all these things are IT corridor. What kind of job you will be getting here? No. As a marketing guy or as a marketing function or sales function, what kind of B2B or B2C, what kind of job you will be getting into? Yeah, it is all B2B. Are you guys clear? Right, so in the world of marketing or the sales, what we used to have a sales pipeline management. Have you gone through a sales framework in this college so far? Spin selling or something like that? Okay, so anyways, that will be part of your curriculum. Spin selling is a framework which help us to convert an lead to a, they call lead to cash, right? How do you convert that opportunity into your business? And there's a technique called funnel technique. Depending on the organization scenario, post business school experience also, when you land up in the corporate world, they will teach you some of this framework because that is aligned with their environment. If you happen to be IT or consulting services, they will teach you spin selling. If you happen to be automotive sector or FMCG product, they will teach you funnel technique, right? Larger net it is same. How do I convert, how do I find, how do I engage, how do I close, how do I grow? And some of you will be landing up and if you ask me find, engage, close and grow, these are 4 different roles in the larger organization. In the smaller organization, you'll be doing end-to-end activity. In the world of consulting and IT services, the sales guys who are on a field to get the new logo is called hunters. I'll repeat again, in the world of consulting and IT services, the people who are bringing the new customer for the organization are called hunters. And the guys who are called account manager, their job is to engage the current customer so well that customer will be with them throughout, and we want to grow that customer, a revenue from that customer. And that role is very, very high in our Indian consulting and IT services space. And their job is to grow that account. And today in the world of business, they say that retaining the existing customer is much more important because 95% of our revenue is coming from existing clients. Right? So account management, which is nothing but engage and grow, is one of the critical area which most of you will be landing up if you happen to be part of consulting or IT services kind of an account, even automotive sector for that matter. Are you guys clear? So predominantly in the B2B business, hunters and farmers, these are the 2 roles you will be landing up. Hunters' job is, no matter what, get the new logo or new customer for the business. And farmer, engage the customer, existing customer so strong that you can grow over the period of time. Like TCS, 95% of their revenue coming from the existing clients. Only 5% revenue comes from the new customer logo. Are you guys clear? Right? That is how B2B business is divided into hunters and farmers. Right? Now there will be a question, Atul, who gets paid more? Right? I'll give you a scenario because from the consulting perspective, I was part of Tech Mahindra for close to 14-15 years and then L&T Mindtree. So typically, traditionally in India, what we have seen, and this is good for you also because some of the consulting companies have started hiring from most of the B schools, right? So predominantly in India, IIMs and ISB, right? When the companies are going to these colleges, these guys are getting ready for hunter as a role. And predominantly the other B school, the guys are basically hired for account management role. you will be managing the existing client. That's typically a trend of the industry right now. Over the period of time, it may vary. And then what we have seen, like companies like Infosys, TCS, Tech Mahindra, Wipro, what these guys are doing, the people who are hired from a other B school at an account management level, there are career elevation program in this company. Like in Tata's, if you happen to be part of any Tata group of companies from this college, you'll be hired as a management trainee. But if you are from IIM, you will be hired as a TAS, Tata Administrative Services. It is just like IAS. आप IAS बन गए तो कैसा हो जाता है? You know how society looks at you? Like in Tata group of companies, they have a program called TAS, Tata Administrative Services. So predominantly they get hired from IIMs. And other guys can become TAS if you spend certain time in any Tata group of company and get selected into that program. And you can make your journey fantastic in that group, because in that group, Salt to Software group, you can be part of any company. Let's say you happen to be part of Tata Consulting Services today, and you want to make your career as a marketing into FMCG, right? You can move into their company called Tata Consumer Products. Only if you are a TAS. You getting my point? Right? So in any organization you join, look for career elevation program for you. It is a great opportunity. And again, every career elevation program have a target or deadline. What is that deadline? Your age. Or it could be year of experience with that group. Same is the program in Mahindra group of company. I worked with both the group, so I'm guiding you guys, right? In Mahindra group of company, same thing. They have a program called GLC, Global Leadership Cadre. Again, same storyline in that group also. GLCs predominantly get hired from IIMs, and management trainees are getting hired from other B school. Now, it's not that we from other B school cannot be part of that journey. We can, provided you apply for that. Right? Like in Anand Mahindra, what he has done, he created a framework for crowdsourcing for new business ideas for them. When we say marketing and sales, it is not only with the existing business what we have. What are the new business I can get into as an organization or as a group? That is a key leadership challenge today. So what they have done, they have created a framework called Shadow Board Initiative. Right? It is very stringent selection process. If you happen to be part of Mahindra Group companies, they have 100 plus company like Tata's. Right? You land up in any group company, but you can get selected into Shadow Board, and then you can work with various CXOs to getting into new business idea, which group can be part of tomorrow. So what I'm trying to tell you that whichever group or whichever company you land up, guys, look for career elevation program. Look for your learning opportunity, not the salaries. And what is the spelling of learning, madam? Can you be loud? Right? And just remove L out of that. What is left? What we have been taught in our industry or colleges, which company is giving more salary? That is how we look for and we take the admission in the colleges. My recommendation, change the perspective. Look for company or group which is going to give you more learning opportunities. Earning will take care of on its own over the period of time. Right? So this is what success you're going to get once you are in the corporate world. Right? The first key element is knowledge. Knowledge about what? Customers. Knowledge of, that is why they say KYC. क्या होता है KYC का मतलब? Know your customer. I'll add 5 more C's to it. And it's very important for all of us as a B school student. What is the second C? Know your company. The first important element is know your company. Like for example, IIEBM, right? If I am part of IIEBM, what are the core values of IIEBM? You should know. Similarly, whichever part of the company you guys are going to be, what are the core values of the company? How big it is? What are the kind of revenue the company is making? Which is the bigger customer? Right? So get to know about your company so strong. And again, there are 2 C's within the company. The first C is know your capabilities of the company. Capabilities are nothing but products. and services. And know your capacities of the companies, right? What are the kind of product we have? Get into that detail. Another KYC is know your culture, company's culture. They say that they always say that strategy, what do you call it? Culture eats strategy for the breakfast, right? Just to give you example, which English word will you associate with group called Tatas? Trust, right? Now, even if you are not a customer or the employee of that particular group, but as a society, there's a value which all of us get to know. And has it happened immediately? It happened over the period of time. That is how every company is trying to showcase about their culture to the society, not only for the employees and the customer, but for everybody. Right? So beyond know your customer, you have know your company, know your capacities, know your capabilities, know your culture, right? And most important element is know your country. Which country you are dealing with. Because today in the world of campus placement, you're not only going to deal with India, but could some of you or many of you will be landing into multiple geographies. Within India also we have a lot of diversification, what I've seen, right? For example, I was working for a company called Tata Motors. So a product which is market leader in India, the same product is opposite in a territory which was given to me called Goa. So like there's a product called Tata 407, right? Bharat ka sabse zyada bikne wala truck, right? And you are responsible to make this product market share grow in a geography called Goa, jahan pe this product was not even 10% market share, right? You'll be given a lot of those assignments which can be much more challenging. Attitude. So today, companies are 90% people get selected for their attitude. हम लोग इसको हिंदी में कहते हैं पढ़ी है, right? मुझे पढ़ी है, इसलिए I'll do and get that girl happen, my girlfriend and something like that. So in the world of business, जिसे पढ़ी है वो धंधा लेकर आता है. That's an important element, attitude, can-do attitude. And the guys who are with that hungry attitude or fire in belly attitude are generally picked up by the corporate for sales environment. Of course, your knowledge about subject, what you are part of right now, or knowledge about a particular language can help you get into that job for selection for the next round, but attitude will take you to the better heights. Skills, right? And there is no end to it again. Like while ago, I started my discussion with what skill as a sales guy you should be having, how to connect that laptop to the screen. Even if you these skills are not part of your curriculum, is it? But how many of you know how to connect this PPT and with one click, you can make this presentation full screen on the projector with only one click. That's a target if I can give you. Go back, right, after this class. With one click, how do I make presentation on a projector full screen? That's a skill. And these skills are much more exciting because today you guys are going to make lot of presentation for your progress, for your customer, whatever it may be on a PowerPoint presentation, right? So that is one of the skills that all of us need to work upon. Trust me, last 20 years were so exciting that not even a single day PPT, Excel were not part of my work. Right? So even if you don't like Excel, you have to like it because that will be part of your job, both as an employee as well as an employer. Right? So please make an opportunity. How do I make superpower in the area of Microsoft Excel? Is it part of your academics given by University of Pune or college? No. There are certain activities which will enable you to hands-on into these two applications called Microsoft Excel and Microsoft PPT. And of course, the third application is called Microsoft Word. Right? These three applications you should be very strong. Habits. And one of the habits this college is helping you to cultivate is being on time. No, being before on time. If you ask me, that's a typical habit. हम लोग हर चीज last mile करते हैं, right? This college is cultivating a habit which actually got spoiled during the COVID time, right? All of us got very lazy during the COVID time, right? At least that's a typical behavior which got cultivated. But this college is helping you to create that habit. Why it is important to be on time and in your office or in your college? I'll give you a personal example. Take your own house, and you have employed a maid at your house. Do you expect her to be on time, or anytime she can come? What will happen if you give her an opportunity, work from home? Is it possible? Okay. And as an owner, will you allow that? That is what most of the company today post-COVID are working upon. Even if they give you an option, work from anywhere, my recommendation is go and work in that office, whichever office you're going to land up. You guys are working with Indian bosses. If the answer is yes, remote working is not a mindset. Please understand that. If you happen to be part of a company, even if they allow you work from anywhere, but if your boss is Indian, please ensure that you have to be in the office. Why? जो दिखता है वो बिकता है, right? Or out of sight, out of mind. So if you want to make an impact, my recommendation going forward, whichever company you're going to land up, ensure that you will be in the office. Second important behavioral changes you have to do is, whenever you are part of any virtual meeting. What is virtual meeting, sir? Zoom meeting or Microsoft Teams meeting. No matter what, you guys have to switch on your camera. Thanks to Jio and Airtel, a lot of data is available to you. Don't save it for Netflix for that meeting, right? Please ensure that in the corporate world or in the summer internship, some of you will land up in the environment where you have to be part of virtual calls. You have to be on camera. Please be camera ready always, right? Some of the strategies very, very important. Like one of the strategy when Sachin Tendulkar was very young, right? He used to be on a ground 1 hour before all his friends. That strategy has worked out and we got the best player for our country. What is your strategy to bring that 1 extra hour every day? Very important now. Right? One common problem which I discovered in this college with every student community is, sir, I don't have time. Am I right? Right? So how can you get that 1 hour extra every day? And right, some of those guys who met me, right, my response was, observe your own data pattern, right? And who's observing you on a daily basis? Your mobile phone. And if you see your data, personal data, at the end of the day, Google have helped you with a program called Wellbeing. Have you seen your own data, Wellbeing? You'll discover one application is eating your time. And then some of your friends were saying that, we only spend much time in Instagram. And what is that small much time? 1 or 2 hours. Right? My answer to those guys is, if you can get a placement through Instagram, continue using it. If your answer is not a placement of 10 lakh plus what we are looking from this college, what are we supposed to do? Pause. Can you strategize that? Can you pause it for a year? Some of you who cannot pause, why don't you announce it? Hey guys, I'll be back after 10 lakh rupee placement. And then your friend will challenge you. आपको आने नहीं देंगे वहाँ पे. Right? So work out on certain strategies in next 9 months to get that at least 10 lakh rupee plus placement for your advantage. Guys, is it okay so far? Yes, sir. That is where I was trying to help you guys. You have to be proactive enough to create your own placements. Don't get into the spoon feeding कि college में आया हो तो placement हो जाएगा. I call that as MBA, manager by accident. Right? Because we are in IIEBM, placement to honi hai. Then you will land up in the average placement. And if I ask all the student, average answer will be no for that average placement. What are they looking for? Higher position, right? So difference between what you're looking for and average placement, you have to take out that many hours every day for your preparation. Proactive. So let's say you're looking for a 10 lakh and your average placement is what, 7.5? So 2.5 hours you have to take out extra. Possibly that can help you to reach out to that level. Right? So, yeah, almost an hour together, right? Marketing trends. And one of the trend which I told you to look forward for is behaviors. Look for various marketing channels which are coming up. During lockdown, all of us were talking about metaverse. And then the companies like Titan, Tanishq, right? They came up with a concept called metaverse. Have you heard about metaverse? Some of you, is there any case study been taught to you? Right, if you want to, please go through a case study called Tata Agni. You know this product, Tata Agni brand? क्या product है उनका? Chai, right? And what is the punchline? Tata tea? Jago re, right? And that's a campaign they have ran since 2014. What happened in 2014 in India? The change of government, right? 2024. Same thing going to happen, right? During that campaign, Tata Tea actually came up with a concept called Jagore, and it was kind of creating an awareness to vote for the right person, right? That campaign had worked out so well that around 2020, when India was part of the COVID lockdown, they created an impact called Metaverse, right? And they were trying to increase their market share through Tata Consumer Product as a company, right? So that is a new marketing channel what we have seen. Influencer marketing, SEO, pay-per-click, online public relations activities. Some of these jobs have created or got evolved in last 12 months. Sorry, not last 5 to 7 years. Today, when we are in the corporate world talking about sales talent management, one of the key mandatory certification for the corporate guys who are in sales and marketing is Meta Blueprint certification. How many of you completed this certification? Meta Blueprint? Not even a single student here. Now what is Meta? Meta is one of the technology company, the parent company of, right? Now this company, all of us know, known for their digital marketing as a concept, is giving free certification on digital marketing. And what are we looking as a marketing student? We always say that we want to have a digital marketing certificate, right? So this company is giving free of cost a certification which it is must for all of you. It takes 6 hours without any break. There are multiple modules. What is the benefit for you? So what the time you're spending today on Instagram of 2 hours or whatever it may be will help you think about doing the better sales and marketing work in your corporate journey tomorrow. Are you guys clear? Second company is Google. And if I cover Google and Facebook, Meta put together, 99% of your digital marketing work is done. Right? The second certification you guys can do is Google Analytics. Have you done it? Some of you? So I'll give you some jugaad in that. If you happen to fail in that exam, which generally don't happen, you actually have to create another Gmail ID and you can appear it again. Otherwise you have to wait for a month. Right, so please complete this certification, which is much more exciting for you guys. Right, 10 years back in the corporate world, we were forcing people to think on one approach, and that is called mobile first approach. Whatever you do, can you think about how it will happen on mobile? And that concept actually led to a mindset of appification. Whichever industry you guys are going to be part of, the management started asking their youngsters or the leaders, can you create an application for this? Like, let's say, for example, we were part of Mahindra's or we were part of Tata Motors. The ask was, how do you create an application for it? Not only for that, even lights. Smart home started coming up, right? Can you create an application for fan? That's a kind of every sector they started asking about mobile first approach for their journey. What is the advantage today? Today in India, India had a very good digital divide, still it has, that 70% of Indian population don't have the laptop or the monitors at their houses, but this population started using technology for the first time in their life on mobile itself. You getting it? That's a typical scenario which happened. So mobile first approach has created multiple scenarios, and there are some companies today, they don't have desktop application altogether. They only are having mobile application. Can you give some example? Have you seen any applications which don't have a website, or you cannot do anything on a website. And this company is unicorn. 5 years back when this company came to change the behaviors of Indian population, today this is one of the unicorn and most forward-looking organization when it comes to financial transaction. And this company I'm referring as CRED, C-R-E-D. So Kunal Shah, when he started this concept, he wanted to change the behavior. What is that behavior he was looking to change? How do we, as an Indian, make sure that we are improving our credit CIBIL score? आप लोगों को सिखाया CIBIL score? नहीं पता है CIBIL score? Madam, start reading. One of the habit, if you don't know certain jargons which I'm talking about, is not supposed to be part of your syllabus. It is part of your one habit cultivation activity, which is called reading business newspaper daily. College दे रहा है आपको पढ़ने के लिए? I think they should stop it. Which paper you guys are reading? Right? One of the students was telling me, sir, I get all the economics times from my college. I pile up, I sell it, I get my annual Netflix subscription free. But that is not the purpose which college is giving it to you. It is helping you to cultivate a habit of getting introduced to various application of knowledge what you're doing in the college to the corporate world. Right? So CIBIL score is one of the improvement area which Kunal Shah discovered, and through CRED, he started helping Indians like us to ensure that not even a financial mistake you guys are going to do in your credit card transactions. So far in India, any credit card customer you find before 2017 used to make lot of financial challenges. कहीं ना कहीं गलती हो जाती थी उससे, and banks used to be happy. Because of the penalty, most of the credit card customers used to make the payment penalty clauses which used to coming up, and they have to make the huge penalty payment to the banks. CRED as a company have ensured that customers should not pay that penalty. They started cultivating a habit of improvement in various transactions which you can go through it. And today this company is unicorn. By the way, I was using this term for multiple times. Madam, what is unicorn? Any idea? आपको पूछ रहा हूँ मैडम. What is unicorn? Yes. Can you be loud? Okay, she is saying more than 1 billion revenue. Any other challenges to her? Anyone would want to challenge her? What? Revenue or what? So he is right. $1 billion valuation. Any company which reaches that valuation is called unicorn in the world of startup. There was an article yesterday that today a lot of startups are looking for people like you to be part of the journey. Interesting part is that most of the startups don't come to our campus for the SIPs also. I may be wrong with your college, but that's a kind of scenario. And today, Government of India is trying to work with various startups in terms of how do we start engaging youngsters onto their portfolio for getting into summer internship or getting into placement kind of a scenario. So since I was giving the example of CRED, right? During lockdown, what happened to the student community who were looking for SIP? Just imagine. But there are few students who created the opportunity. So one of these guy actually posted with a 30-second video on a Twitter tagging Kunal Shah, who is the owner of CRED, and he was asking for a summer internship. What happened? Did he depend on the college to give the SIP? It happened that this guy got the SIP, and the SIP was one of the highest in the Indian history. For the 6 months, he got the SIP with a payout of 1 lakh rupee per month. So what I'm trying to hint you again, कितने महीने बाकी है SIP के लिए? Huh? 3.5 months. Right? Who is supposed to create the SIP? You yourself, right? College will help you, enable you, but the primary responsibility of getting the SIP is with you. And who will stop you if you get that valuation of great unicorn, a valuation which it is offering you best in the campus? You can think about getting into those kind of SIPs. We create those SIPs which are not coming to the colleges. right? So this is where the organization started helping their mindset of the sales community. Where are we heading towards? SWOT, this framework has been taught to you guys, right? As you progress, first semester is all about SWOT. By the third semester, there are few more framework will come on your plate. One of the important framework all of you should be knowing about is Porter's 5 forces model. Has it been taught to you guys? Somebody saying yes. 90% of the students are looking at me. What is this? Porter's 5 forces model. Right? That will be part of your journey very soon if it is not taught to you. And by the third semester, you'll also get into new concept which is coming up in the market. Most of the companies are asking their sales guys and marketing guys to align with. Is called BMC. Business Model Canvas. Right? What we learned in our first semester, second semester, third semester, the corporate guys will be asking you to apply. Please understand that you're learning whatever you're doing now will be all about application during your summer internship as well as your final placement, whichever it happens. So the concepts are very, very important. I just started with SWOT. Some of the companies, I don't know, are they part of their campus? Right? So I want to give you an experience of yourself. See, you yourself, right? For example, what happened to a company called Amazon? How many of you started using Amazon on a website or a mobile phone first? Right? Journeys are different, but I want to give you an experience from Amazon. They have a team which is looking for how do business will get disrupted. Every companies are looking for business continuity. That is the most important challenge for any CEO. मेरा धंधा कैसा चलता रहना चाहिए, right? What will happen to my business if I don't change? I'll become a Kodak moment. Check your own nursery photographs, PG, playgroup photographs. Probably many of you have a photograph with a Kodak camera in this class, right? But today, anybody using Kodak camera? So if you don't change with the technology, will become the history. Now, what happened with the Amazon, the similar group was challenging the company's every damn processes and trying to create something new. So what was the first business of Amazon? Any guess? Selling books, right? And we were talking about behavior, not now. All the marketing guys are looking for behavior changes right from the start. Now this group discovered that way back in 1990s and 2000 that the behaviors of millennials are changing from reading physical book to online books, right? So they forced the entire energy of the organization got shifted towards Kindle as a product. And then over the period of time, Kindle became a unicorn. And now it is multi-billion-dollar business. 10 years back, what happened? The Gen Z population and millennial population was again struggling with one common problem, lack of time. And the concept of reading physical book as well as digital book was shifting. And where that shifted to? Audibles and podcast. And today, if you ask me what Amazon is doing, selling the books, same books through product called Audible. And 99.9% of their Audible customers are using Audible product or the services only through application, which is called mobile application called Audible. Anybody Audible customer here? Now just see these 6 hands which are there. If you ask them, where do you use their services? Have you used their services on the laptop audible.in? Answer is yes. But majority of us consume the content data only through mobile, right? And over the period of time, we got equivalent companies called Spotify and all other companies. So in the world of technology, if you have to look for the company which are changing our behaviors, predominantly are called MANG organization, MAANG. This is a global term for most disruptive companies of our time. हिंदी में मांग बोल सकते हो आप, right? Microsoft, Apple, Amazon, Netflix, and Google, right? These are all Western companies. Now look for Eastern companies. If you have to look for similar equivalent environment, it is called BAT. Chinese company, BAT. Baidu, Alibaba, and Tencent. Interesting part is that Whichever startup you think today in India, either Mang or either BAT, they are the investor in those startup. For example, in India, if I talk about fintech, Paytm, all of us know this company, right? So Tencent is the investor in that, or Alibaba is the investor in that. Take the current new age company called Geo Platform, right? Facebook is an investor into that. Microsoft is also investor into that. So Mang and that BAT are the most disruptive technology companies across the world today. And all the startup what we are seeing from India, some of these companies are invested into that. Very interesting element, if you happen to be part of a product company, there's a concept called product life cycle. Right? I happen to be one of the product company. I started my company with career with a company called Maruti Suzuki. Right? And that time we were struggling with a product called WagonR. Right? One of the toughest product to sell for us during that time. Right? Our bigger competition was Santro, which just came with a good brand ambassador called Shah Rukh Khan. And Maruti as a company traditionally never had a brand ambassador. We started with one company, one brand ambassador, but miserably failed for that product. And the brand ambassador was nothing but Amitabh Bachchan. Right? And the product was Versa. Maruti Versa. Ab chote rahoge tab us samay, right? Or some of you might have just born that time. Right? So this product was miserably failed, and after that Maruti decided that we'll not think about brand ambassador because our product and the mileage, these two things should be brand ambassador for our product. Now, just imagine this image which I'm trying to show you is about a product life cycle. One of the key challenges today, customer gets or bored with the same product. Now these two products, Maruti's WagonR and Honda City is another product which is called Honda City. आप बचपन से आज तक देखते आ रहे हो, right? And both are market leader in their respective spaces. Interestingly, what they have done, product extension. They continuously revamp their product, and the product life cycle is continuously, graph is going up and up and up. And today, Maruti WagonR is number one in the segment B, and in segment C, Honda City is number one still. For last 25 years, it is not easy for any organization to think about that longer duration of a product. Even Maruti Zen and Maruti 800, which we were thinking, but they only were there for 20 years. But today, the Honda City and WagonR is for more than 25 years. It's very, very great for a particular brand to continue. Take the other example, Lifebuoy. You ask your grandfather, possibly most of the grandfathers in our India today were using a product called Lifebuoy. Right? What happened to that product today? All of us are using same product today, but in a different format. Are you getting my point? So organizations are continuously looking for how do I evolve over the period of time. Right? Like for example, when your mothers were of your age, their aspired product was Lux. What was the punchline of Lux? Sitaro ki pehchan, something like that. Right? So your mother was attracted to a product called Lux. Interesting part is that Gen Z population, none of you are using Lux. So what product extension they have done? They moved to a product called Dove. Right? So when you were in your school days, you guys were very happy with the product called Dove. Whatever, she's saying now also, right? That is happiness quotient for Unilever. Right? So same happened with all of you when you were young. One of the shampoo or the most of the shampoo you guys have used, predominantly the first was Clinic Plus. Right? Interesting part, after 20 years, you guys are not using Clinic Plus. Now what happened to the company called Unilever? What they will do? Right? So Clinic Plus knew that their customers are moving to a brand called Dove. 10 years back, they launched this product called Dove. Now what happened with the customers like us? We always want to feel elevated. Right? मैं कुछ अच्छा use कर रहा हूँ, right? The same customer called Dove 10 years back has shifted to a new shampoo called from the same company. It can be different brand altogether, but from the same house called Unilever. Just imagine from Lifebuoy to a product, high-end product, which you guys are using, but from the same house. Right? So when we will go through a design thinking as a concept, I'll if I'm part of that discussion, I'll help you how organizations are working and forcing each one of you to develop a skill set of design thinking. Design thinking is all about understanding your customer's problem and start working on that direction to help your customer much more effectively. It's one of the key concepts mandated for all the sales guys in the area of technology, consulting, product launches, and new business development scenario. Right? So we will speak on that. It's a 8-hour workshop, but anyways, it is helping getting more empathetic towards your customer. Right? Some of the common ask which you will be able to answer by your placement, right? Why will marketing mix and strategy remain the same during the product life cycle? Now, with this question, I just want to help you. So tomorrow, some questions will come in the interview discussion for you guys. Please understand what organization is looking from you, not the answer, but how will you apply that examples for that question from the same organization. Let's say you're sitting for an interview called Mahindra & Mahindra. Right? How can you think and apply and give certain examples from the same group is what those companies are looking for. Are you guys clear about it? Have you gone through a concept called STP? Segmentation, targeting, positioning? Right? And if you're sitting for a company called Mahindra, you can pick up an example for SUV or you can pick up an example called tractors. That is what those guys are looking for, not the Sabunwala example. Are you guys clear? So please be very specific whenever you are appearing for any interview. Think about your concepts, which can come as an interview discussion, but you have to give examples from that same industry, same company to be very, very preferred. I cannot give example of Tata Motors in my Maruti interview, right? Possibly the person may not like it. I think we discussed on this. This is a quick difference between B2B and B2C side of a business. Even if you start with B2C, over the period of time, you will start handling certain B2B scenarios. Some jobs will force you to handle both. Like like I was working in Tata Motors, right? So we were responsible for B2C for our truck business, and we were also responsible for B2B. So like in the business of commercial vehicle, what is B2B? Like selling the buses to government, state transports, selling the truck to the large fleet operator, selling the trucks to Indian Army. These are called B2B kind of an engagement, and selling the truck to that individual person to make his daily livelihood is called B2C kind of an engagement. So some jobs will help you manage both kind of a scenario. Any questions so far, guys? Of course, we got a lot of questions from you guys, which we will answer. Our patterns, like Google and Meta have a competition. Do you know what? Who is winning? If you think about when Google and Meta are in conversation with each other, do you know the guy and the girl in India slip and gets up with one application? And what is that application? You always sleep with that application and get up with that application. Instagram and WhatsApp. Right? So that is how the organizations are today trying to see your behavior pattern at any given point of time. I'll give you an example of Lenskart. All of you know this company called Lenskart? Interesting data patterns which got evolved when we were working on the consulting on Lenskart, right? And a lot of discoveries. Of course, the data is very private, right? None of the customer data has to be disclosed, but the patterns can be discussed and disclosed. 6 out of 10 customers of Lenskart, the data of Lenskart was that the data shows, you can refer and ask your best faculty who is available 24/7. Who is that? Google, right? You can answer anything which you don't know, because I'm talking a lot of things which actually should be part of your curriculum through economics times, right? So even for Tata Technology as a brand, which was supposed to come for IPO, this group called, brand custodian, Mr. Harish, was responsible for that success. So it is very, very important role which are coming up in terms of brand equity management. And certain case studies were much more exciting in this case. Like when we were working for Maruti as a brand, and when you guys were very small that time, there was an ad which came, which became one of the great case study. Now what happened when Maruti and Unilever, these two companies are the #1 ad spend in our country. Please understand. the highest amount of money which any company which spends in India, Maruti and Unilever are just, they spend equally a good amount of money into their ad spends, right? And one of the advertisement company wanted to enter into that space of branding for Maruti, and this company was Capital Advertising, way back in 2003, right? And they were so excited that they said, okay, please give us first ad, we will give you free. And if you like it, please onboard into your, onboard us into your brand management program. And that ad was connected to mileage. A small Sadaji who was driving that vehicle. I don't know whether you have seen that, a toy called car. And then he was running entire house and he was saying that petrol khatam hi nahi honda. That is the kind of brand equity which they created after that ad across all product portfolio of Maruti connected to the mileage. Are you getting it? That is how certain companies most of the companies are looking for this. And the job of any marketing guy is all about working on the brand management of the brand, product, whatever you guys are owning on it. So interesting part is, in the brand management job, one of the key tasks is analyzing competition. And the great part is that today competitions are unknown. Which is that unknown player will come and disrupt my business. For example, I am part of Reliance Retail. Till 2022, all of the things were happening so good. Suddenly Zepto came, and entire 2023, Reliance Retail or Amazon for that matter had a tough time, because that unknown customer has come and disrupting them and challenging them. You also need to be like that, otherwise I'll have a sunset, right? And just imagine, when Zepto came, Blinkit also started the same offering. Today Instamart is also offering the same thing. And JioMart shifted from 24 hours to 7 hours. Big Basket also started delivering in 3 hours, 4 hours, right? So your competition is forcing you to change your processes. And why will customer come on your portfolio? Because of the brand, if you ask me. Because of that experience, I would say. Right? So branding versus marketing, that's a clear differentiation for you guys. And over the period of time, if you start reading Economist Times, every Wednesday you get a supplement. Which supplement is that? You guys are reading it, right? You should help me. You get a supplement. ET के साथ एक supplement आता है. उसी के अंदर colorful paper होता है. इसका नाम बताओ. If you are reading it, you should tell me. I'm giving you a day called Wednesday. The supplement called Brand Equity. Is not a supplement now? अभी चिपका दिया जाता था, हमारे टाइम पे चिपकाते नहीं थे वो. But it's not the same color. It's not the pink color. It's white color, right? Is it right or wrong? So that is what important. So over the period of time, if you start cultivating a habit of reading newspaper, you will get a lot of use cases on branding part of the storyline, which can help you to align key differentiation between marketing and branding in that particular journey called brand equity. So start spending that time, lot of use cases, new age cases which are coming up for us to help us understand what is that brand, which is very, very important for us. Right? Any doubt on this so far, whatever we covered? I'll talk about branding as a scenario. In Mahindra and Mahindra, since I was part of that group, what we did around 2011, the entire branding of Mahindra got changed. Have you seen the Mahindra logo? Right, the entire Mahindra and Mahindra, when this group started in 1945, two friends started this company, Mahindra and Muhammad. Okay, so Muhammad, being a Muslim, after partition decision was happened, he decided to go back to Pakistan. But the brand called M&M retained, and they changed the term called Muhammad to Mahindra. So Mahindra and Mahindra, that's the reason of that particular M&M storyline, right? But 2011, when Strawberry Frog as a consulting brand, one of the leading consulting firm in the world, they have also done the consulting to Facebook, by the way, how Facebook should be, why Meta, why, all those consulting was given by a brand consulting company called Strawberry Frog. The same company had given the consulting to Mahindra and Mahindra. And they changed the name Mahindra and Mahindra to Mahindra only. And if you go to their website, there's a small RISE written on it. RISE. Right? So what brand positioning for Mahindra, for all the group company, this company has given a concept called RISE. Whatever you do, it has to be purpose called RISE. What do you mean by RISE? Something which goes up. Right? What happened the moment we listen to Jana Gana Mana? All of us rise, right? That's the kind of concept those guys have evolved. For every sector, whichever sector they are part of, Mahindra is supposed to rise. That is how the branding works. In the world of Tatas, I'll give you a different scenario for you guys. Have you seen that mushroom tea is being used by some group companies? वो जो टी है अलग सा टी है ना राउंड शेप में मशरूम टी बोलते हैं उसको राइट नॉट एवरी कंपनी इज यूजिंग मशरूम टी हैव यू सीन दैट everybody cannot use that mushroom tea even if you are a Tata Group company, because as a brand, if you're using that mushroom tea, you have to pay a royalty to Tata Sons. Are you getting it? That's the reason some of the group company like Starbucks, they only say we are Tata Enterprise. They don't use that mushroom tea logo. Or if you go to Titan, they don't use that mushroom tea. Fast Track, they don't use that mushroom tea, because they have to pay the royalty, some 7 to 8% of their profits. And some companies are willing to pay because of that mushroom tea, they get a larger branding automatically, which happens. Are you guys clear so far? Right, so branding plays a very, very critical element, and today organizations are focusing on how do we get into branding for stronger customer pull. And there are so many case studies how the brand got evolved, and there are certain brands which are BAU, term for us. Like when we were going through the B school, and today this brand is one of the strongest brand in the world in the automotive sector called Jeep. Jeep is so strong brand because, the product which looks like, that shape is nothing but called Jeep. But it is nothing but a great brand from a house of Chrysler. Now it is part of Fiat. Right? Same is the case with Colgate. The moment we say toothpaste, like people ask to the shopkeeper, give me a Colgate. Another great brand is called Xerox. Nobody calls photocopy. What we say, bhaiya ek Xerox kara do. Now it's a brand which there are some brand, and that's a kind of achievement for the brands. Whenever you are a brand ambassador for any company, how do you get into an ecosystem called creating that wow factor for your brand, that the normal term called photocopy becomes Xerox. Like, so I was giving you example for Mahindra and Mahindra. What they did, they came up with a program called Mahindra Brand Ambassador as a program. Right? It is very, very easy to ensure that all your 4 lakh employees become a brand ambassador for your company. 4 lakh employees. For example, take the example of your college. Who is the brand ambassador for your college? You yourself. How, if you ask me what is one of the key mindset of the brand manager for this brand called IIEBM, he is thinking about each one to get one by next year for the admission. If you ask me, that's a brand manager. I don't know, I've never met him or her, but this is how the brand manager of this college will be thinking and acting upon. How do this student bring one student next year for the admissions? Very simple target. Similarly, like in Reliance Industries, I happen to be part of their assessment. Right, in Reliance Industries, what is the objective of Mukesh Ambani as a business? He is saying that, how do I get one revenue per Indian every day? 1 rupee. और कितना इंडिया का population है? Right, 1.4 billion population, and he is expecting 1 rupee revenue per Indian. That's the revenue he is looking for, 1.4 billion INR per day. Very simple, right? So some of the brands are looking on that kind of a scenario. This is what I have been telling you since morning, our interaction. Please look for creating the placement, not getting the placement only. Please understand. I'll repeat again. Please work on creating the placement and not looking for placement only from this college. There are so many exciting placements outside this campus which you can make it possible. Right? Look for, we guys are part of such a great environment. The best opportunity for all of us is LinkedIn. Right? Is that LinkedIn, Instagram helping you to get that job? Or There are 5% students in this community, in this class, who are not looking for job, but they are looking for creating a job. Right? So can they look for that opportunity to learn better so that they can think about starting their company not in 2030 but in 2026? Because by the time 2030 aayega, everything will change, and the new business business challenges will come. So this is the message which I have for you guys. Please take responsibility, right? It's not job of a college to give you that 10 lakh rupee job. It is your responsibility to grab that job through college or create your own jobs. Right? So integrated marketing operating models which are coming up, like in the world of HR also today. If you somebody from HR here, okay, 3-4 hands, right? Even for some companies like Reliance, the HR guys are responsible for revenue. Can you give example for that? Why? Because HR guys are responsible for bringing the human resources, right? And the sales guys will always say, because if I don't have a talent, I will not be able to grow my business. So that's the reason HR manager way back is called as HR business partner today. Same is the case if you see consulting jobs, ENY, McKinsey, or Capgemini for that matter, even the IT services company, today talking about when you grow as a sales guy, what is the highest level designation one can think about? Huh? Chief Revenue Officer, but below that, the guys will be responsible for managing the customers, right? The job designation is called partner. If you see partner in McKinsey is like a top post position. Are you getting my point? So what is partner? The definition of partner is to grow that customer and make that customer wow for your customer for life. So if, for example, there's a company called Tech Mahindra, right? Or take the example Infosys. Like Tech Mahindra, there is a customer called AT&T, world's oldest telecom company for last 3 decades. There's a company called Telstra, which is Australia's #1 telecom company, is a customer for Infosys for last 15 years, and today 10,000 Infosys employees are working for that client called Telstra. Just imagine 10,000 employees for same client, one client. It's not a joke, close to be a $2 billion business for Infosys. That's a kind of portfolio. Amdocs, another company, product company, right? They make a telecom CRM, customer relationship management product for telco sector. Same customer called AT&T. Today, Amdocs as a company, which is Israel-based company, interesting part is that 40% of the technology consultants are in Pune, across the globe, right? And when this company is working for the telecom CRM, which is marketing application for telco sector, one customer which is giving them a business revenue of $2 billion, and this customer is again AT&T. Are you getting my point? So there are some roles which are very, very important, which will help you to grow as a partner for that particular brand, whichever company you're going to work for. So today, a lot of exciting things are happening. I'll give you another case study called Mahindra British Telecom. Mahindra, you know, is an Indian group. British Telecom, world's second largest telecom operator. Now let's take the example. Now both of them are separate companies. Now British Telecom, when they were looking for their growth around 2017, what they did to their operating models, they were confused what to grow and where to grow and how to grow. Typical challenge for any business. What they did, they pulled all their respective vendors in a particular, off-site kind of a meeting. जैसे आप लोगों को भी off-site training होता है, so these guys took all the vendors to an off-site location, and this particular brand challenged all the vendors, or what you call suppliers, whatever you call, and they had given them only 48 hours. How do you see brand British Telecom in 2025? I'm referring to 2017 meeting of them. So today, some of the companies are looking for operating models. What should change, and what is that future growth for us? That entire strategizing activity, they are shifting from their own house to outside their house. And whichever company has made the impact to them in that 48 hours meeting slot, right, are the partners for them today. Are you getting my point? This concept is again called crowdsourcing. Today, organizations are looking for how do I grow faster, better, cheaper, larger, and steadier. These are typical ask for any business to grow, right? They are looking heavily dependent on their partner for their growth. Are you guys clear? So for example, during lockdown in India, there was one company which attracted lot of funds, and this company was Geo Platform. Right? Nobody thought that such a kind of investment one can think about during lockdown when business was not doing good. But companies like Facebook, Microsoft invested heavily in this brand called Geo Platform. And because the kind of vision they had in terms of expansion, in terms of, top customers and the bottom of pyramid customers, a kind of ecosystem they had created for India as a growth, Google, Facebook, that time now Meta, and Microsoft believed in that particular brand and they invested heavily into that. So that's a kind of operating model one can think about. How do I grow alone? How do I grow with my partners? Right? How do I grow joint go-to-marketing scenario? Today, if Jio starts creating a competition for Android in India, which can be a possible scenario, which even Narendra Modi had given a target for Indian telecom operators, that can we create India-focused mobile application platform. The way we created a huge competition with the NPCI. Can anyone tell me what is full form of NPCI? Yes, sir. Yeah, go ahead. Can you be loud? Now this particular company, is this Government of India company, has given a big tough competition to 4 global companies. What are these 4 companies? Visa, MasterCard, American Express, Discover. And this competition, which nobody thought, is coming from UPI payment and Rupee as a concept. Now what will happen to 1.3 billion population if today 40% of the guys are using Visa, MasterCard and all these things, and they also are shifting towards Rupee card, the business for these American companies will go down. But that's a good advantage for us because we as a customer or we as a banking system don't have to pay for those payment gateways, and that cost is getting nullified. So some of these operating models which are forced by government also to think for the benefit of the country, those things are happening. So you as a marketing guys in most of the companies today will be part of the DNA, and it's kind of a nervous system for the entire organization. Why? Because you have a great insights about a customer. You know everything about your customer, what they do, what they sleep, when they sleep, you have end-to-end data. With that, your product strategies and the new product development can happen better. Let's say in the automotive sector, today everybody is saying that your car is nothing but a mobile phone of the future. If you see all the changes which has happened or which is happening in the automotive sector is nothing but just like your mobile phone. And some of the companies some of the product which we are going to buy from the automotive company will be just giving the similar experience of your mobile phone. Take the example of Ola. Right? What Ola is saying, buy a bike and you can upgrade a software and your bike will be new. Are you getting my point? Just like your mobile phone. You buy a mobile phone and what happens? You're happy for next 3 years because every year Android upgrade or iOS upgrade happens and you feel that you are with the existing customer. अब तक कार में ऐसा नहीं होता था ना. Now going forward, car is also going to be like a mobile phone. And Nitin Gadkari, which is Ministry of, right? Fantastic. So Ministry of Road and Transport has given a target for all Indian automotive companies to come up with a concept called, come up with a COS, car as a CAOS, car as a operating system. Now, if car will get an operating system like Android or Apple phone, what we have, just imagine the kind of newer jobs are going to come up in the industry. And new data is going to come up. Now, take the example of insurance as a company, general insurance as a company. With this car as an operating system, what is the data they can get? Same customer, same product. What is the job of insurance company? To insure your car. Now they will decide based on the driving behavior pattern who should be paying more insurance premium. And what are the driving behavior pattern? You understand, right? Somebody a rash driver, somebody is very sophisticated driver, somebody even if a sophisticated driver but making a lot of what do you call signal, skipping the signal kind of scenario. Basis that pattern, your insurance company can take a data and they can make certain customization or offering the discount kind of a scenario, right? So these are the kind of scenario which is very, very important, and you guys will be part of a journey called data-driven decisions in the organization. Are you guys clear? Any doubts so far? The kind of jobs which are coming up in the market is called marketing analytics. Please understand, the jobs are called marketing analytics. Very, very important for you to understand. The customer insights help organization come up with a new product. There are new companies which are coming up, predominantly those companies are called KPO. Your job is to analyze various data point of the customer and help organization take the relevant product launches or the relevant insights for new product or new geography engagements. Oh, this slide is not clear. But nonetheless, these are some of the roles which are there in the industry now, which you can be part of from this college or over the period of time in the area of marketing. What is this noise? Not because of my slide. Okay, it has gone. Right, so corporate and product branding, which we spoke about it, like in the area of consulting and IT services company, your job will be also, which is called analyst relationship. If you happen to be in the IT services or consulting firm like EY, Capgemini, or McKinsey, your job is to handle the analyst who are actually evaluating your services. Have you seen any ad of Infosys, Cognizant, Wipro? Right? So how do they do the branding of their product? Through various agencies like called as analyst relationship. Right? Content specialist, account-based marketing, advertisement, inside sales, marketing strategy, campaign. GTM is go to market. So let's say I'm Microsoft and you are Infosys, right? How do we do joint go-to-market strategies for some of the products called cloud services, right? So that's a GTM or campaign management which happens, right? Customer experience. This is another team job which got evolved, right? And some of the companies like Infosys, Cognizant, Wipro, what these guys are doing it, they created a dedicated role called customer experience SPOCs, right? Or customer visit management jobs, right? Where you will be responsible for that customers visit successful in India so that our growth of the customers can happen, right? Marketing operations has evolved over the period of time because of the processes what we have seen from the company. And today, 7 out of 10 jobs in the world of marketing is connected to the operations. Again, why? Operations and analytics are connected. You have a lot of data you guys are working upon through various data. And so there are certain clients or customers or the organization like Microsoft, IBM, they are forcing organization to align the processes. If you don't have a processes, possibly of you losing the alliance is higher. To very, very stringent processes in the group like Amazon or Microsoft, where your organization have to manage that operations very, very high. So take the example like today in Tech Mahindra, where there are close to 1,000 sales guys, 300 are hunters, and 900 are close to farmer, and there are 500 guys who are managing marketing operations for various alliances they have, whether it is IBM or Microsoft or Facebook, whatever it may be. Their job is to just manage those marketing operations to reduce the overall operation cost. Right? Portfolio marketing or product marketing is again depending on the brand and the product or the industry, it changes. So these are the typical jobs which we have seen in the market, which, I mean, bucket of the overall jobs which you can get into marketing kind of a work. Now the question is, how do we get there? Right? Journey is easy from this college because placement can happen. Right? Journeys can be made over the period of time in the corporate world once you land up. So of course it is very, very important. What are the kind of roles which are coming up in the market I should be aware of? Right? Good part is that LinkedIn and Naukri.com is available for you. If you ask me what are the kind of skill I should cultivate, you can refer to the job description on LinkedIn and Naukri.com and easily get to know what companies today are looking from your job as in that aspired organization. Right? Even if you're a marketing guy, as I told you, analytical skills, behavioral skills are very, very important for you to cultivate. Right? Technical marketing skills, irrespective of the product or the services or the geography, you should be very, very strong with. Right? And what is that you should be doing in next 12 months? As I told in my last, close to 1.5 hours, please create SIP opportunity for yourself, right? If you want to understand social media marketing better, my recommendation, think about how your college is engaging yourself on a social media platform. It can be Instagram, LinkedIn, whatever it may be. Start learning from your own college environment and start engaging yourself in those communities. How to be a better communicator, right? So that is another skill set which you have to think about. If you think that even after you are in a postgraduate program and you need to work on your English communication, you can think about joining certain platform called Toastmasters. Again, it is must for you, not only for your communication issues, but it is, as a marketing guy, one of the skill set required for you to grow your business is called networking, right? So Toastmaster is a great global platform which can help you to strengthen your networking abilities and skill set, right? That can be part of that, right? There are lot many online courses which are available. You can pick up. I gave you 2 platforms which are free of cost. Please don't invest your money right now into any other platform which is forcing you to complete yes this certification and that certification. I know we are part of that generation which is part of FOMO, FOMO. What is that? Right? So when we interact with any student, they always say, "Sir, मैं और क्या करूँ?" So as a marketing student, I always say that बेटा पहले marketing का quarter finish कीजिए आप. Once you finish the Philip quarter, then you worry about और क्या करूँ, right? So work on strengthening your basics is very, very important. And I have told you Meta Blueprint and Google Analytics certification, must for you and much more exciting program. And after that, the way you're going to engage on Instagram will be much more exciting. Please remember, you have to act like a sponge. Whatever information is coming to you, please absorb as much as from the college, from your faculties, from your mentors in the corporate world as part of your summer internship. Please understand, a crying baby gets some milk. The same message applies. The person who is going to ask a lot of questions is going to learn a lot. Right? The difference between a PG student and this PG student, playgroup and a PG is, in the postgraduate program, we have seen students are not asking questions. And that's not a good sign of a maturity. Right? So please start asking a lot of questions to yourself or to the environment to get more clarity and cultivate the habit of learning. Global mindset, very, very important today. You are engaged with only population called India, right? The moment you land up in the corporate world, you will be engaged with the global population. And then the companies will force you to learn understand the culture. For example, if you happen to be a part of a BPO company and 4 out of 10 team members of yours are from Philippines, then you need to understand that culture, right? Yeah. So thank you for that. So that is how global mindset you need to work upon. Strong communication skill, which we always, emphasize on, which will happen over the period of time also as part of your job, right? As I said, be a student for life. You cannot say that mera PG khatam ho gaya, then I don't have to learn, right? So everything will be forced on you by company, by your environment, by your situation to learn and learn and learn. If you don't stop learning, you know what will happen. Right? And last point is bringing the great network over the period of time, because that network is your net worth. That is how the corporate world is going to hire you when you have a strong network over the period of time. I think this is what the data what we have got from your campus, right? It is very, very important for you guys. As a marketing student, you don't have to worry about which sector you're landing up. Your opportunity to convert that placement which is coming and then cultivating a habit over the period of time into getting stronger in that particular space is much more important. Because the great part for marketing guys is they can move into any damn sector. Right? Today you happen to be, as I said, as a marketing student, marketing opportunities are very less. Right? You always land up in a job in sales predominantly, and over the period of 5 years you can think about moving into marketing. A typical questions which we have seen, right, or which we have seen in your inputs what we have got, right? Can a marketing student have a change of job rather than a sale? Answer is yes. I was part of sales and marketing for 5 years. I was selling passenger car, very, very lucrative business, or what do you call, high fashion statement. And from that high value, high fashion statement passenger car business, I've shifted to a commercial vehicle business, which is trucks and buses. Typically different customer segment, because car is all aspirational for the Indian customers, right? Truck and the buses are altogether different. वहाँ पे जो हमारे customer होते थे, they were actually working to make their house run. वो अपने daily living के लिए काम करता था. ट्रक खरीदने वाला customer या buses खरीदने वाला customer, different segment altogether, right? But that gave a different perspective to all, to me as an individual, right? And after that, I moved into IT services sector, into their strategic intervention. So changing a job is possible for you, right? And changing a sector is also possible for you. That is how I'll put it. I think this sales and distribution model is connected to SAP. Is SAP S&D compulsory for all of you guys? Not compulsory. So it is like a driving a car. How many of you know how to drive a car? Right? And the hands which are not up, they are also looking to get to learn about driving a car. But they have their own excuse. Why should I drive a car? I have Ola. You getting it? So it is their personal choice, right? Similarly, companies helping you to learn how to drive a car. The sales and distribution model is just one particular module which college is teaching you. Intention is, today everything is technology driven. If you happen to land up in a company, how to handle sales and distribution as a function for that company, for that industry, which will be much more exciting for you. Like for example, I was working for Tata Motors, and that time we used to maintain the entire sales and sales pipeline management or forecasting, whatever you call, on a books. We don't have an Excel sheet also. हम लोग किताबों में हमारा sales pipeline manage करते थे. Why it is important for sales guys to manage the pipeline? Why you require sales pipeline? The same data will go back to your plant, right? If you don't have a pipeline now, you'll not be able to make a future customers happy, right? Because I have a pipeline, I know what I'm supposed to fulfill that customer's demand by communicating it to my plant so that they can be ready with that product in next 2, 3, 4, whatever months, and I can fulfill my customer onboarding activity and I can increase my market share. A typical sales life cycle, right? So today everything is happening through technology. Some of the guys are using SAP, like in Tatas, in Mahindras, like in Marutis, they are using Oracle, equivalent product, whatever you call, and lot of new age companies are using Salesforce.com, right? So please understand, S&D module, if you are going through it, good for you, but don't expect the same S&D module, what you learned in the in SAP environment, you're going to get in the corporate world. It can be equivalent environment because the process will remain same. How to convince customer for selling product? It depends on what kind of product you are going to be part of. It depends on which kind of channel you're going to be part of. That is how the organizations will put you into understanding various framework. Like two framework which are well known in the industry. One is SPIN, S-P-I-N. Because of the lack of time, I'm only giving you the name. The concept itself is like a workshop for 8 to 9 hours. Today, most of the companies are investing their sales guys to undergo SPIN selling. The second one is challenger sales. Again, this is the international framework, challenger sales. It is predominantly used in the B2B kind of an environment. So these two framework I have seen in the industry, which is well known. Way back when I was in Tata Motors and Maruti, we were taught on a funnel technique, asking the right question so that you can make your customer lead into conversion. How can I be able to find growth in the field of marketing, and what are the tools I'll be required for that? If you ask me, the first foremost tool is Microsoft Excel and Advanced Excel. No matter what, which tool you guys are using, you will extract the data, you get the data in Excel sheet, and you have to start working on the data crunching and making it. So two tools must for you, PPT and Excel sheet. And it has to be like all the shortcuts on Excel sheet you should be knowing. Please, these two tools are much more important right now for strengthening it. Over the period of time, whichever company you land up, a respective tool you can easily grasp. But what I've seen in my last 20 years of experience with all the freshers which we onboard, पहले 6 महीने उन बंदों को Excel sheet में ही हमारे चले जाते हैं. So start cultivating the habit of Excel sheet and PPT is the most important tool. PPT and Excel. You know, if just to give you example, ENY, McKinsey, first 3 months, the training is only on PPT and PPT and PPT. What are the jobs those guys are doing for first 1 year? Just to make PPTs. That's all. And then whenever a customer client presentation has to be done, you'll be very fast to make that presentation in not 1 hour but 10 minutes. That's the skill set those guys are helping you to cultivate. Is marketing a tough profession? Which profession is not tough? If you want to make money, accept the fact that every profession is going to be tough because you're going to make excellent money out of that. Right? Any other doubt? Who had asked this question? Doesn't matter, but is there? I hope that person has got the clarity. So be ready for getting the better challenge. More the challenges, the more money you're going to get. Is marketing suitable for girls? What are the jobs, roles, new graduate girls? I mean, there is nothing which girls can't do today. And in the world of gender diversity, which we are talking about, right? You don't worry about this kind of questions right now because everything is possible for you guys and you can make an impact. For example, I gave the example of Tata Motors, जहाँ पे हम लोग truck बेचते थे किसको? Truck drivers को, right? Of course, you will say that Atul, 9 or 10 out of 10 drivers in India are boys, right? और मुझे जाके वो ट्रक बेचना है वो ट्रक वालों को, ट्रक ड्राइवर्स को, right? How will I sell? But again, a lot of things are happening in a different way, all put together. Just to give you example, there's a product called Tringo from Mahindra, right? Tringo is a product which is nothing but Uber kind of a product for tractor business. Uber, all of us know. Car as a service. So tractor as a service, the product is called Tringo. This particular product was led by a girl in Mahindra. Today, all of us know this company called Mahindra Electric Mobility. EV cars from Mahindra and Mahindra is led by a girl. So please, again, there is a company called Starbucks. All of you had gone through or seen it. Starbucks, you know. I'll not ask you the question, कितने की मिलती है coffee वहाँ पे. Possibly this side of the guys, this side of the lot knows how much coffee cost, right? This side of the lot may not be worried on that part. I'm just kidding. Right? But the interesting part is that when the company came to India through Tata Group, there was a girl who was leading this institutionalization of Starbucks in India. And interestingly, that was a girl again. Right? So don't worry about that, what you can do and what you cannot do. Challenges are going to be there. You have to accept and create the fact. I'll give you another case study from one of the Padma Shri awarded person. All of you might have gone through her books. And this person is called Sudha Murthy. You know her story of creating a placement in Tata Motors? She was the first lady employee of Tata Motors. You know the case study? Right? When the placement was happening in her institute called IISc, right? One company came and that company was Tata Motors and they categorically mentioned girls should not apply. And this girl, like you, challenged, why can't boys always have fun? She wrote a letter to JRD Tata that time and she challenged. What next? She got an appointment and she was the first lady employee of Tata Motors. The reason was Tata Motors had their own challenges that point of time. Since it was male dominated sector, shop floor mein rehna hai, and there are no women toilet. And that's the reason they were saying that we don't want to hire a woman. But she accepted the fact, challenged the company, and she became the first lady employee of Tata Motors, and rest is history. So if you think that kind of challenge is coming, which will not happen in this world today, be ready for that. And challenge those companies, things will happen good for you. Is there any need for SAP in advertisement field? No, this question is not related. SAP is a tool which talks about how to capture and process the information of a customer. Now, if you have a customer insights, your advertisements can go much more better. Are you guys clear? Today, with our generation and our mindset which is happening, the bigger challenge for advertisement companies is how to attract your attention in 4 seconds. 4 सेकंड में क्या हो जाता है? आप क्या करते हो? Skip the ad. right? Today's challenge is पहले 4 सेकंड में how do I convert my customer to see that entire ad so that you can become my product. I was giving one example right before this session. There was a movie called 12th Fail. How many of you seen this movie? Now interesting part, this movie which has been nominated by India for Oscars, only 30% of population have seen. And if you see from a marketing student perspective, what is in it for the movies or Bollywood? If there is no Khan and Kapoor, people don't know the movies, no matter how good or the great movie is. Right? That's a brand equity, which Khans and Kapoors have commanded in the Bollywood as an industry. What is the job role or product manager in FMCD sector? And how do they manage their work? Okay. FMCD. Can you give example of FMCD company? Huh? Right? FMCD, FMCG, automotive is the same. One of the key asks of FMCD is to manage the channel. Your job is predominantly to manage the channel, and one of the KRA or KPI of you in FMCD sector is to make that dealer profitable. You're getting my point? While you're responsible for market share improvement, your job is also to make sure that dealer is profitable. Why? Because in the world of sales, what are the strategies some of the companies are using? Discount. Right? In the world of FMCD, the dealers are competing with each other. Same LG dealer 1, LG dealer 2, they're competing with each other, not with the Samsung. And as a business leader or the FMCD business sector or automotive sector, हमारा सबसे बड़ा challenge ये होता था कि how do we make both the dealers profitable? They should not, eat each other. I remember way back when I was in managing the 30 plus dealers in Maharashtra for Maruti Udyog, we used to ask one simple question to all the dealer principal. Who's your competition? Like take the example Pune. We had only 3 dealerships of Maruti in Pune, right? The Sai service guy will say that Chowgale is my competition. Chowgale is another dealer of same Maruti as a brand. None of the dealers were talking about their competition as the competition brand. They were saying that मेरा competition तो ये बाजू वाला dealer है जो same गाड़ियाँ बेचता है. So it took a lot of time for us to change the mindset, boss. Your competition is for together. Our competition is Hyundai and Honda Motors and all those things. The same challenge is for us in FMCD as well. How do I make my distributor and dealer profitable along with market share improvement? Those are the kind of work you will be dealing. And of course, over the period of time, once you are in the field, your career elevation will happen for a particular product or a brand, which you have to manage or particular sector within that. So what is common between a refrigerator and the mobile phone? Distribution channel. Right? You have to manage your particular brand, a particular product for a product line in the same company called same industry called FMCD. Are you guys clear in terms of what is your KPIs in that sector to make dealer or distributor profitable? I think this, you don't have a camera, right? So you guys will be given a feedback to help us improve, because as in the world of marketing, the feedbacks are very, very important because it helps us to improve or feed forward further. Like for today's session, your feedback is definitely going to be much more important for me and us as an important for the college. How do we engage our customers better? You are our customer, right? So how do we engage our customers? So in the world of marketing, taking a feedback is one of the critical elements. Because, and again, the feedback is very, very challenging scenario. You will be part of certain companies where your KPIs will be aligned with SSI index, Sales Satisfaction Index. Let's say you're part of a territory called Madhya Pradesh, and your sales satisfaction index as a KPI is not good. Then what will happen to your bonus? It will go down. Are you guys getting it clear? So in the world of sales and marketing, your customer feedback is going to help you create a success story for each one of you, right? I think this feedback for this session will come back to you. Please help us to feed forward better, right? With this, I'll conclude my session. If any questions are there, we can take it up. Otherwise, I don't know. I'm anyways overshooting the time. 5 minutes. Yes, ma'am. Yeah, go ahead. You want to speak? Yeah. Yeah. You can be loud. Go ahead.
My question is, to become a marketing analyst, what are the skills that are being required?
Excel sheet and advanced Excel sheet. You said analyst, right?
Yeah.
Excel sheet, advanced Excel sheet, and then you move forward for Power BI. Those are all skill set called technical skill sets.
And sir, is it possible that if we start at initial stage, is it possible to go in that field,
Which field?
marketing analyst?
Okay, so her question is, Atul, what, today whichever company I lined up, will I be able to make my career into? I'll put the word not analyst. Analyst is a job role, but from the role, higher role perspective, think about marketing analytics. Your job is to help give right decision to your leadership, and decision has to be data driven. And that is where every sector is talking about this role. Just to give you an example, right? There's a new पढ़िए जोर से पढ़िए उसको. The last row I want you to read so that I'll be clear that this font is not good for the people here. So he's struggling with the data on the screen. Right? Nonetheless, yeah, thank you. I think I was looking for the data font. My apology. I was not aware of the distance. So I'll increase the font in the next session whenever I get a chance, right? Or some of the slide I'll try to enlarge so that you guys can be comfortable. So what Alex is saying that he believes that data insights drive change, data simplicity sparks success, right? And he is the one who love to act like a catalyst in the transformation of the organization. There's another guy who joined as a management trainee, Arav, right? He struggled with the data and handling it in a comfortable place in the organization. And what he feels, this current workplace is not making him comfortable. Making him comfortable. Some of you who had a work experience, why you did not like that job? Because you were not able to handle that data. Right? Possibly in the summer internship also, that scenario could be like an RO. You're struggling with the organization data to make the insightful, from the data which is company have asked you to handle it. Right? So what do you want to become, RO or Alex? Right? So probably in the next 1 hour or so, we will discuss on how to become Alex, so that RO kind of situation will not happen to us in our SIP. And of course, after 1 year down the line, we land up in the corporate world, how to enjoy that data which is available to us as a job called business analytics or analyst, or as a function which you are going to be part of. Right? Please understand the important aspect of the analytics in the corporate world is not about data. It's about the interpretation. You are being paid by the organization to derive that insightful actions for the organization on the data which you guys are working upon. Right? We will discuss on various data scenario which you are going to handle. I have picked up the scenario from HR or marketing which can be good for you. Right? What are the trigger you are giving for the organization to make or break it? I was part of the IT services organization, right? And we were responsible for transformation of 1,40,000 employees so that they can be relevant for the future. Why company like IT services company is thinking about people to be relevant for future? Why it is important for them? Any guess? Why organizations like today's organizations are worried about people relevant for future? Because of the skill set. They hired those talent 20 years back. Are those guys relevant for today's environment which is called AI, ML? Right? If not, then what are we supposed to do with those talent? Two options. Either to train them, reskill them and make them future skilled, or we can ask them to leave. Which is better? Right? Whoever is not willing to accept that challenge, company asking them to leave. This is how the certain sectors are forcing their employees to be ready for the future. Interestingly, Government of India, which is worried about placement of young talents, right? And that was one of the manifesto of the current government, how do we create employment opportunity for our employees or for our future of our country, right? So they created a platform called NASCOM. And if anybody of you would like to make a career in business analytics or analyst, my recommendation to complete lot of certification free of cost on NASCOM future skilling platform. So this is not for today, this is for tomorrow and going on ongoing journey of learning if you want to do. Please complete as many free certification given by Government of India free of cost on any technology which you think which is creating more excitement to you, you can complete it. It can be blockchain, it can be cloud, it can be AI, it can be whatever, machine learning. This platform is NASCOM Future Skilling Program. So they started in 2017 in India. Intent is how do we make people skilled enough for getting or grabbing those jobs with the changing landscape of technology, right? One of the key important element which has evolved is business analyst as a vertical, horizontal in terms of roles which are coming up, and high-end jobs in business analyst is called data scientist. You getting my point? So data scientist working in Amazon is just like a senior vice president in any other company because he is responsible for deriving that insights which is helping organization to eliminate almost hundreds of sales guys. That's the kind of job of data scientist in the industry today. They are responsible for working on multi-million data points for helping organization to work on it. So that is one of the reasons most of the startup what we see, they don't hire sales and marketing folks. Or most of the fintech company, they don't hire MBA finance guys. What they hire? They hire technologist who has an ability to work on set of data for transforming the organization's customer database, what they have. Like for example, company called Cred, which we were talking about in the first half, right? Is a fintech company. 78 or 80% of the talent is nothing but technology guys. And remaining 21% of the population is nothing but the guys who are into the world of alliances, right? How do we do a better alliances with their future growth path? So they don't have sales and marketing guys as such. They have a different set of talent which is required, predominantly guys who can work with data to derive the insights out of it. In a Flipkart or Amazon, the kind of jobs they have, predominantly for this kind of a role called business analyst, the typical role they called it as category manager. Let's say a product called shoes. Now in the world of marketing, what we call STP segment, right? Is it for a girls or a boys? What age group? Right? What type of fashion we are talking about? School shoes or sports shoes, like that. So you drill down the category and you get into the smallest level category, and there is a guy who is working from IIM as a category manager. What is the job they have? The job is to make sure that they are having the right engagement with the customer or targeted customer so that your revenue can grow for that particular category. These roles are typically called analyst, a special role in the industry which has come up, and you guys will be responsible to understand that category much more better so that you can help organization grow their revenue. More of a technical role, but predominantly data is setting jobs and getting, working with set of data for the growth of the organization. Right? Third important element what we have seen where the talent is being hired in the organization is standardization of data. Right? For example, you joined Reliance Industries, a company called Reliance Retail. When you started your MBA program, they had a strength of 2 lakh. As of today, they are having 2,60,000 employees. By the time you pass out from this college, this company will be having 4 lakh employees. Their plan is to hire make the strength of 6 lakhs employees by the end of year 2025-26. Right? 6 lakhs employees. Reliance Retail. Multiple format, multiple set of geographies. What is one important element for the organization like Reliance, for that organization which is growing rapidly? How do we standardize data which is coming to us? How do we standardize data interpretation across the organization? I'll give you one great review which happened way back in 2003 in Maruti Suzuki. Every organization, every zone came for the annual review meeting, and everybody was growing as per the report what they presented. One had shown the data year on year, another zone had shown the data quarter on quarter, another zone had shown year on year whatever. The data representation was different, but everybody was growing. And that time the CEO of that company called Jagdish Khattar, he questioned, hey, everybody is growing, why the company is not growing? Right? So that standardization of data is very, very important across the organization. How are we representing? How are we sharing the data? Are you guys clear? Guys, I know it's a post-lunch siesta moment for some of you guys. Right? Those who want to take a siesta, can you go back? I can pick up and I can request, right, to take the siesta outside this class, because it's a ripple effect. You take a siesta and it pass on to the other friends. Right? Every action has equal and opposite reaction. So if they say that one of the important element in the organization today, why the business analysts are being hired, to clean up the data. If you have a junk data in, you'll have a junk analysis output, which is one of the key problem statement in the organization. Right? And last, most important element is making things simple. Okay, so your social media team is active now, right? So thank you for that. Right? You got it? The guys who want to take a siesta, your social media guys are active. They will post it on Instagram. Just kidding. Good. So yeah, simplifying is the most important element. So I was asking you in the first half that the skill set required for every job today is understanding Excel and advanced Excel, how to use it. Of course, there are so many tools have come, but nonetheless, 99% of the companies today asking you to extract that report from the tool, whichever tool, SAP or Oracle or PeopleSoft, whatever you call, extract the data in Excel, do the analysis and make the presentation to the customers or your management. And the important element is how do we simplify the data, right? That is one of the important element. So like in the companies called EY, McKinsey, there are dedicated jobs for you to get the data insights coming out of from the client raw data. All of you will be responsible for that raw data, and there is a set of population which is working on that. So what we have done in the consulting companies is like a kitchen and the restaurant kind of a story. Whenever you go to a restaurant, you will be able to find the guys called people who cook the food, very rare. Right? And the guys who are interacting is nothing but waiters in the restaurant business. Similarly, in the world of consulting, there's a kitchen and the consultant separate. The kitchen is nothing but a global, like in McKinsey, they call, McKinsey Knowledge Center, which is based out of Gurgaon. In EY, they have a, what you call, knowledge center in Mumbai. So these guys are nothing but a kitchen for the global restaurants. In nothing but in a consulting company, wherever your client is there, this kitchen will help with the data set and derive the insight out of it. So a lot of you, in Pune, we have a PwC at Commerce Zone in Pune, right? There are close to 2,000 employees are working as a business analyst to work on various data, which their partners are sending it to do the analysis. The multi-million rows, you have to work out on that and give the right data representation. It can be for certain analysis. It can be for certain dashboard preparation for your customers' client presentation. Right? That's the last important element which some of you or many of you will be responsible as a business analyst or as your core function, which can be HR, marketing, finance, operation, doesn't matter. It goes hand in hand today in the corporate world. Why are we talking about analytics? Why everybody is talking about analytics? And suddenly, all the business schools started a new stream called analytics. So last 20 years in the industry, what happened? This term, everybody is looking for making an impact to their employees. A starts with associates, employees and partners. Everybody is focusing on making an impact to their investors. Everybody is looking to make an impact to the customer, which is C part of the storyline. And the last part is society. Right? How do we make an impact to all these key stakeholders? Right? So that is first ask for the leadership in the industry is how do we increase the shareholder value? The second ask is how do we decrease the risk for the organization, right? Executing the strategic planning and bring the focus of the employees or create more return on investment of the people. So we have a UK based company called Prudential. They have close to 10,000 employees working based out of Mumbai for global risk management. There's a college next to you. This year, there's a company called Barclays, world's oldest bank in existence, almost 325 years old. They have come for first time hiring the guys for the risk management profile for the global risk management activity. Of course, job is based out of Pune, but for the first time they are hiring MBA folks, which can be from BA or finance background, but the job is part of the global risk management team. So a lot of banks, Pune, if you see as a history, the IT services what we see in Pune is predominantly for banking sector. And the best part is that over the last 20 years, these customers where their vendors like Tech Mahindra, Wipro, Infosys, Cognizant and LTI Mindtree discovered that Pune is the great place for talent. What we have seen in last 20 years, these companies, global financial giants, have started their own setups in Pune. Now you pick up any damn bank from whether Switzerland, Europe or Americas, we have all the leading financial institutions in Pune. Barclays, close to 10,000 employees are in Kharadi and Hinjawadi put together. Credit Suisse, Bank of America, Credit Suisse got merged with UBS very recently. There were two different companies, but last quarter they got merged globally. So of course, Pune offices are getting merged. So in Pune, close to 150,000 employees are working in captives banking, global banking giants in Pune itself. And almost 30% of these guys are basically working on the risk management, global risk management portfolio, right? Some of the new jobs which are coming up, intention is that how do we mitigate the risk which can be coming from any damn data point across the organization, across the globe. The team is working on that kind of a vigilance in the industry, right? So we'll go back to the school days. Can anyone tell me what exactly is metrics and how it is different from measurement? You heard about terms called measurement and metrics? Anybody who is an engineer, first semester, the subject called mechanics, the first chapter in mechanics, or anybody who passed out class 10 in India, the first chapter in physics, class 10 or class 12, measurement and metrics. So what exactly is that? Anyone? Bataiye? How you can guess? No, that is fine. Let's see. Yeah.
In mathematics, matrix is of the equal ratio 3:3 like that. But in physics, this is that like we have two dimension of like vector quantity and scalar quantity like that.
Chalo, I was at class 7. Let's shift to class 4. Okay, let me go down. Right, what are the first measurement all of us have learned? I mean, class measurement is, kindergarten stuff. The first measurement all of us have observed since our childhood days is weight and height. Will you agree? And basis your weight and height, your parent used to say you're not healthy or you're healthy, whatever it may be. Or your doctor used to give that intelligence you're healthy or not so healthy. Comparison of two measurement helps us to give metrics. I'll again go back to class 4th now, right? In class 4, the first metrics all of us started learning was speed, distance and time. Two measurement helping us to get a metrics called speed. And what are we controlling when we are driving a car? You getting it? So in the organization also it is very important what are the measurement we are processing and what metrics which is helping us to derive out of those measurement and what we love to control, predominantly metrics in any organization. Like today, since we are matured enough now, we understand body mass index. What doctors ask us to control? BMI. Are you in the right BMI? Right, that is how the organization trying to compute. How it is getting computed with the help of your height and weight. That's a correlation. Are you guys clear so far? So in the world of management, it is very important to understand in my area of function, what are the various measurement I have and what are the kind of metrics organization want us to process. And these metrics are different for every stakeholder. This AICS, the metrics are different for every stakeholder. Same organization, same performance, but everybody is looking for different need from the same organization from their metrics. For example, if she is an investor with Tata Motors, what is her ask from the organization performance? How the shareholders value can go up by increase in the share market price of that organization. Rest, everything is not required for her. Right? As a customer, what are you looking for? The best mileage I can get from the same product. Right? Society, what they are looking for, what more CSR activity this institute can do or this organization can do for me. Right? So every stakeholder is looking for different expectation from the organization. And if you're part of that particular function, which is connected to A or I or C or S, your respective roles will be different. I'll pick up one role called investor. Now tell me from which stream in the organization they're working for investor community. Predominantly a guy from MBA finance background. The investor is part of corporate, secretary team. They are reporting to CFO community. Risk management. In all the organization, risk management is part of which group? CFO. So, I was talking to this girl who got selected by Barclays this year in one of the campus for the same risk management profile. And she was from MBA background, finance background. And she was saying that, Atul, I'm getting into this role, but I want to be part of finance. Ultimately, the marriage between risk and finance goes hand in hand. If your risks are not in control, your books will go haywire. That is how the correlation which is happening. What is CAGR? Right? This matrix is important for whom? Sales guys. Right? So that is how every matrix is important for respective stakeholder, and overall as an organization we have to manage all the metrics. And as an individual, as a student, if I have to see metrics of organization, where can I see? Annual report. Balance sheet will only talk about the financial performance of the organization. Annual report will talk about all the metrics which is connected to AICS. This is the McKinsey term. If we have to run the organization, I have to do the balance of AICS. A means associates. Associate is not only employees but also partners which are supporting organization growth. Then C is customers, I is investor, and S is society. So since we know what is difference between measurement and metrics, now just consider as a layman, what are we talking about when we say measurement? And this is the example from HR. Right? When we say measurement or measures, right, you have certain data. Data could be like employee head count. That's a simple measurement what we are talking about. Metrics is nothing but deriving the intelligence out of that data. In this case, we are talking about revenue per employee or revenue per full-time equivalent. That is how the industry talks about. That's a metrics which we are deriving out of it. And then analytics talks about overall turnover of the performance. Analytics is beyond your metrics what we have having in the organization. Are you guys clear? Right now, as a student community, what are we responsible for understanding in your SIP or the organization or the function which you are going to be part of very soon? What are the measures we are processing in my respective function? What are the various data which we are getting right now? And one of the key asks in your management training program also, start working on various intelligence you can derive out of data which you have in the organization. Any questions so far, guys? This session is predominantly for data-driven activities, right? So how things can happen good for you. Now, let's say you're analyzing a data on the sales function as a business analyst student, or many of you are marketing folks, and you land up in the conversation with your leadership, or your leadership is coming and talking to you in the function called sales and marketing. A typical questions will be like this, right? What is the pipeline looks like? What is pipeline? For example, in this college, a typical management question will be, what is the placement pipeline looks like? How many people got placed? How many people are going to get placed? Both for SIP and final placement. That's a typical discussion. Your management will be doing it. So as a sales function, these are the typical questions which you will be responsible to understand or analyze and answer. Or as a leader, you are supposed to ask your team down the line, depending on your respective geography, because you will be responsible to answer the same question to your management. Or as a CEO, these questions can be asked by your investor community to you or your board of directors, so that you can show that confidence in the world or the management or the shareholder community that you are the right organization for them to invest. Are you guys clear? So please be ready for this kind of an ask. This is predominantly from a sales and marketing perspective. Now let's see from the finance guy. If you happen to meet a CFO, or if you are part of that finance department and somebody will ask you these typical questions which you should be ready with. And today, most of the companies, what I have seen in last 6 years in India, they started conducting, investor engagement program every year. They call AD, Analyst Day. So what happened? So far, most of the companies were engaging their customers, they were engaging their employees, and they were engaging their suppliers. For last 6 years, I have seen most of the corporates are started engaging their various financial analysts. So like company like Infosys will conduct Analyst Day, where all the role which has come up in the industry called social media analytics, right? And you will be responsible for driving number, let's say FMCD company, right? Your job is to understand how do I generate 7% of my customer pull through Instagram. You're getting a very specific KPI, and then your job is to do the analytics which is coming from the Instagram. Which target, which segment, which territory, which geography, right? Which value of a mobile phone. All those things are your data points which you have to work towards for strategizing certain effective campaign for your company. So there are many things are connected. Analyst is just a role, and there's a term called business analyst. If nothing is clear, the technology company give the role called business analyst. It is much more wider picture one can think about, right? So don't worry about that. Whichever role you're going to be part of in the sales and marketing field, data is there. You just have to work on that data driven decisions for the company. Are you guys clear? Yeah. Yes. Any questions? Guys at the back? Yes, sir.
Just mentioned a point, digital market channel, pay per click. Can you elaborate?
Pay per click. See what happens in the world of marketing. You are responsible to analyze all the possible cost which you are incurring. आप कोई धंधा करते हो तो आपके क्या क्या खर्चे हैं वो पता रहने चाहिए. Then only you will say that my business is profitable. If you don't know expenses, what will happen to your business? It will have a sunset, right? So in the world of social media marketing, right, you need to understand which channel is costing how much. So that is called pay per click, right? How much I am paying for my responses which are coming through Instagram, or responses which I am generating through WhatsApp. So like I'll give you example of Reliance Retail. All of us have seen the Reliance Retail. Whichever format you pick up, whether it is Reliance Smart or whether you pick up another format called Centro or Fashion Mart, whatever it may be, right? They have multiple formats, retail format. One of the KPI for sales as well as HR guys, revenue per square foot. You getting my point? If I'm in Pune, in a mall called Phoenix Wakad, right? What is my revenue per square foot as a sales and marketing guy? Why this is important? You'll be able to make sure, is that location viable for me? If my revenue per square feet in a 5-star mall is lesser than a mall just next to IIEBM, I'll better invest in this particular store than that store over the period of time. That's the reason you might have seen that all these retail companies have the investment only in the small formats. Otherwise, they are on the lease format only. Like DMart have a different framework. वो हर retail outlet खुद का खरीदता है और खुद का चलाता है. Whereas Reliance Retail and which is the other format, there are Shopper Stop. They believe in running all the outlets in the lease format. They don't buy or invest in the real estate. So there are certain decisions which corporates take based on their format, and then they go ahead further. So today there was a good case study on DMart, how DMart become the retail inventory giant. They have a lot of key infrastructure available at key locations all across the country. So along with their retail boom, they are getting the infrastructure boom, which is good for them for their journey. Yes. Hanji.
Sir, my name is Siddharth Dixit. So, sir, I just want to ask you that how I can differentiate the companies for SIP, where some companies are giving big giants company are not giving the money for SIP, but they're giving a learning. So, sir, चीज को differentiate कैसे करें?
So I have been told, I told you, right? Look for learning opportunity. Don't worry about the short-term gain, which is called SIP incentive कितना मिल रहा है मुझे. So focus on your learning opportunity which can help. Like I'll give you example, right? One of the guy who was not good with English conversation. So he challenged in terms of a position or job which will force him to talk to stranger. He picked up the SIP because he was looking for a long-term improvement, which is nothing but of cracking the best campus placement for himself. So he started working with a international giant QSR called Burger King. And he converted that entire SIP which he was doing in that Burger King, selling those burger as consumer behavior patterns. And he created the story, and the stories are sold by each one of us. Right? So it's not the matter of kind of job you're doing in that corporate as the internship, is the kind of story you're creating out of that. So my recommendation is look for that impact you're going to drive both for yourself and for that company in that summer internship. And companies are looking for what impact you have driven for the companies. Because if you talk to seniors, 6 out of 10 seniors will say that yaar maja nahi aaya SIP mein. Right? If they talk about that kind of a stories, possibly the cracking the interview in the final interview will be much more challenging. What is the intent of college for you to get into the right SIP so that you can convert that SIP into PPO? Am I right? That's the impact organization like yours is looking for. So is the case with you. So make that impact so that company will hire you. Yes. Thank you. Yes, sir. I don't know the time. Who is the time check for me? Because I'm anyways planned schedule time. You're the timekeeper for me. तो आप मुझे बताओ कब stop करना है. I'll stop. It's done. So I'll take the last question. Yes.
Sir, if I am targeting automobile sector for my career as a marketer, so should I target OEM sector or direct four-wheeler sector? Which would be best for me?
No, OEM and four-wheeler is the same thing. My recommendation, if you're looking for automotive sector, you should focus on anything which moves. I should be part of that company.
But sir, majorly it will depend on the company which is coming in our campus.
So I don't know which automotive company comes to your campus, right? So I'll put the question in a different way. So there was a scenario. I'm not an engineer, but I want to be part of automotive sector, right? Which automotive company will help me to accelerate my journey, right? So there are some companies where you can start your journey like Yamaha or Bajaj Auto, right? Some of these companies, because of their international environment, they're not looking for you to be engineering graduate. But just take the company called JCB. You know this company, market leader, German brand, JCB, right? So now when JCB is hiring a guy, what they will look for? Engineering background, because it is very, very technical driven sales. Another company called John Deere, world's #1 tractor company by revenue. They will look for a guy from a engineering background, as well as they will prefer a guy from agriculture engineering background. If you ask me, Mahindra & Mahindra, they go to hire sales guys for their tractor business, predominantly for the agriculture business management schools, not for the MBS programs. Why? Because those guys understand that market. Because आपका market is, I remember one of my colleague who moved to Tata Motors from Mahindra & Mahindra, and I asked, what was one motivation for you to come out of Mahindra & Mahindra to Tata Motors? He was saying that, Atul, 3 years I was in Mahindra & Mahindra, part of my market research program, and 9 out of 12 months, I used to be in paddy fields. Because my job was to do a market research for my new product launches in Mahindra & Mahindra. क्या बनाते हैं वो लोग? Anything which is required for खेती बाड़ी. Right? So as a market student, आपका research कहाँ रहेगा? किसानों के साथ. And he used to spend a lot of time in the paddy fields because his geography was that, right? From West Bengal till, Kerala and Maharashtra, his time was spent all across, farming community, and he was doing that market research for the new product launches they were supposed to do. So it depends on the industry to industry. Even in the automotive sector, why they are looking for people with that background? Because of the need for the customer conversation going to be effective. Some companies, they will look for language as an advantage. So if you know a particular language, they feel that you will be making success in that particular territory, they will prefer the talent like that. So whatever your strength, they will try to ensure that we are hiring a talent for retirement. So hire to retire is what companies are looking from each one of you. If you ask me what HR guys are looking from you, who is that one person will retire with us? But if you ask me the mindset of the student community, they're looking for, let me take this job and leave after 4 years or 3 years, right? That's the kind of mindset. So today corporates are looking for hire to retire. And with this, I'll end 10 months in your hand to grab that 10 plus lakh rupee placement. All the best. Your action starts now. Thank you.
Abundance of knowledge from the session. Thank you once again, sir, and we look forward for your next visit to our campus.